100,000 worlds to dust. Looking for those who robbed me of my glory. I will stride across their bones. And all of existence shall be mine.
Yo, Chad.
Damn, but not as much as Reason, Vidil O'Reilly. Almost going for, I guess, the full gauntlet here. 21 different teams. They've had a little bit of a bite from. I hope they can make the full 33 at the end of the day, but have to stay ahead of Surge. That's the biggest thing.
Yo,
that's been their
Chad,
issue so
what's
far.
up?
Driving around is one of the best
Chad?
options. They're
back.
searching around Slurpee
Yes, I'm back
all the way
Chad.
from Sweaty
Let's
Sands.
go.
They went north last game, south
streaming
this
the
one.
FNCS finals.
I mean, there's no one in sight.
And I just love this emote use right here by Vidil, just to be able to not to get a clean headshot. Very cheeky, very smart. But what has been so difficult for them is that their reputation precedes them, and now no one wants to play with them. It's just what it is. It is what it is. They have no one to play with now because they don't like to share. They don't like to share points. Again, I'm a dad. Hey, kids don't like to share when they're little. You know, it is what it is. So they're not sharing anything, and no one wants to play with them. We did a look at Analex's trio. They like to do that. If zone pulls on them, in the previous game one, they like to look for storm stags. They're looking at Lazy Lake. They're looking at Retail Row. Their adjustment that they made was now going down to Cape Cod, trying to find Nico's team. Nico's trio loves to make that rotation, that dead side rotation through the coastline. So that's why Analex is down there looking for more tags. And as you see, Analex's trio is actually sitting dead center because weather station's right there. Those mountains are going to be very valuable going forward in the rest of this match.
They're finding enough teams though to get tags from.
Yo,
see Diablo and Bayon
and
company all the way inside this box looking for shots as well towards Verox's team. Torentos and Julex pushing forward as well. Both teams having not too bad of a day, but need to elevate today to get towards the top of those big leaderboard standing. This is a 23-point team in the day in 23rd place.
You know, some people out there are visual learners, and I myself is a visual learner, and that visual look at that map right there tells me all I need to know for the day. No one's lining up anymore on that line. By now, yesterday, zone 2, everyone's sitting on that line. Not anymore. They're all trying to get those Storm Surge tags in their separate little box fights, and then once they get enough tags, then they rotate in. So what that means is anyone that's been very consistent playing for center, they have a lot of pressure. Like you said, Analex's trio has a lot of pressure to find those Storm Surge tags. They need to have their aim be accurate and true.
I don't think that line dancing's done just yet. Gotta remember, just the second zone, once these guys clip all the way into third, there's no way you're trying to just push forward onto different mountains.
It's not a line dance anymore, dude. It's a mosh pit out there. You know
no, I think we still have a few tunes left.
Okay.
Just wait for this zone to lock in, and we'll see exactly where these non-card trios will end up. It'll be all around Lazy Lake, and then that left side as well.
All I know, man, is I don't think it's a silent disco. I just think it's just like a loud mosh pit of destruction that's happening out there in all these fights. And like I mentioned, man, the rotational bandwidth is just so little now, more than anything. And if you're like Chirentos and you're not finding any kind of fight, Chess team here is going to have some issues. Now they have to box up and try to get some tags here. And before they know it, they're going to be the ones that are late rotating in, and then they're going to be storm held. This is what happens when you make these decisions. Every decision matters here in these kind of high stakes tournament.
And these are the dynamic decisions as well. We saw some of these top teams in big bases. Torentos, Julex, and Mustache are just kind of stopping wherever they can. It's not fully planned, so they don't even have the biggest sight lines. Guys are operating on fumes, but hopefully they get through. Just 2 damage below. And now Ardent and Pizza right beside Wakey as well. I think both these teams are always itching for fights. Artor's here too. They've gotten into so many mid-game fights as well. These are just rough riders back and forth. And they're still gonna go and confirm a few things. Right now on the other side of the map, we have Swag's trio cooling down slightly. I'm not sure if it's 2 reasons. Yes, it is. And they find the snipe as well. So big above Surge.
I was gonna say, man, Reasons Trio is all they're doing is looking for a third-party opportunity to go in, and you saw they went from 14 Storm Surge all the way up to the 400. So that is why that's their game plan. They look for third parties. If you're based up trying to get Storm Surge tags, they're gonna sneak up on you. They're gonna ambush you. So now they have a strong opportunity to do the rest of their game plan, which is more dead side rotations, more pushes into Fox fights. So if you building out of wood or anything weak, they see that weakness and they go right in.
Now I want to see if any of these teams have to break out of Misty Meadows or if we're going to be locked down here right next to the circle. We have one team kind of rolling away. Agram Reason.
Hey guys,
Swag,
go to my Twitch if you want to see my live
are here too.
because I'm watching this straight off Fortnite.
Looking for a shot in with
My
Pizza. I was
friend's
talking to
actually in
Tulix
this
yesterday. Basically, the
Shout
thing
out to
stopping
Benji
Denver
Fishy.
pushing forward was first zone surge.
So, yeah.
Now the way they were kind of handling getting tags, hopefully they fixed it over. Haven't landed any shots towards the deal right now. But they're making adjustments.
All lowercase, so yeah.
And all this is a big time moment here. Zone 3 has been revealed and it's more south. Last time we had an in-game here yesterday, it ended on the lake, but that's not going to happen this time. It's going to go down to that mountainous terrain. Thomas HT picking up an Elam on Cluja. Vidil, Noah Riley, Reason still on their feet, making their way forward. Edgrim still on their feet, making their way forward, but this is going to be a very dangerous short rotation. You mentioned Trulix trying to get tags here. They're staying on the outside. I think they're tired of going down before they have an opportunity to fight for height. They're just sick of it.
Yeah, there's, basically a set plan put down on paper on how to rotate from here. I feel like that paper is about to be crumpled and then thrown into the zone. As a result, some of these teams might end up going down. They're still right next to each other. It still looks nice and straight. No creases on that piece of
There
paper.
you go, chat.
Hero Swag and Snap are going to be moving forward first. Everyone's rolling in. No folds. Okay. It's organized.
Blackie just wiped out Cammy's trio all by himself.
Again?
Blackie just wiped him out. It's just not the kind of day for Cammy's trio. It's just showing you that split. It's just once people start coming in, once they start, it's like you're building a kind of wooden blocks tower, right? The moment one piece is missing, that whole thing collapses, and that's what's happening. They need perfect rotations. They need that loot to have success, and so far, day 2, all that success is being destroyed by that lobby.
You can always rebuild that tower. You can also have that happen towards the mid game as well on a sound structured tower. That's exactly what Snap was trying to do on screen to Karma Aware and Legends. Not going to happen though. They'll box up on top of each other in a really weird spot. I'm not sure exactly what you can see from here, especially if there's a lot of teams above you, but I respect it. It's cool to be side by side. No Riley the deal though. They want to go higher. Trulex is there as well. Both teams that love to be all the way up top, and now the fight starts box to box. Kind of getting itchy between both these teams. Noah Riley's gonna be the one person to be having the opportunity to drop down from an angle that they actually can't perceive or see. There it is, the big charge shot on Trulex. He gets a big shot back though. Noah Riley's in trouble. 45 HP,
guys.
has to find room to breathe. He's choking on air right now. There's a
Yo,
tree
shout
in
out
the
to the
way.
Jewish
Okay,
stream.
he'll be there for camouflage, but he's leaving both his teammates down below in a fight against Juriki. It wasn't even Trulex,
Shout out
and
to the
Juriki
Jewish
gets
chat.
wiped out.
Man,
just
so many
watching this
trios are
live
playing
because I'm
right
bored.
into the plan of Noah Riley's trio. That's what they want. They want these fights. They love mid-game fights on the Storm Edge. They're going to take them, and they're not going to let go.
Dude,
This
this
trio
is so
is
live.
dangerous, and they're moving up their leaderboard slowly but surely just by their E-Lin play. We're not even in placement points yet, SNYO.
Yeah, I
And look at this,
think Benji's
entire
still
leaderboard
alive.
at the same time. The differences in points between teams is huge, almost 40 points
Yo,
ahead. As
don't
Janice
forget to type in chat.
And Shapix
It's free. Like
Everyone's
I'm
kind of neck
streaming
and
on
neck,
Twitch
but
too.
if these
If you
guys
want to
survive in
join
this
up,
game,
so yeah,
can anyone
it's
really
free to
touch
always
them?
follow. So
Everybody
yeah.
on social media, on the Reddit forums, were saying Noah Riley's Vidil's reasons
But guys,
game plan of
I'm
teaming
actually gonna
everybody
try
is not
and
going
make
to
it
work
to
in a high-stakes
FNCS.
lobby. It's not going to work against
Here, so yeah.
150 plus
need a good
FNCS finals
FNCS
appearances, but it's
who is
working right now,
confident
and they're in second
and
place.
who is toxic.
Thing though
Not
is now
that
for
toxic,
this
but
rotation,
you guys know what I mean.
this is kind of like an ocean all these players have to cross. They'll be on similar kind of wavelengths and a boat. Will anyone be
Shout out to
prime
the
enough,
chat.
sturdy enough to go for a mutiny of sorts
I'm going
and become the
chat.
captain of this rotation, go for more beams, take a fight? Or will it all be organized? One team already dipped through that river. Some of these boats have made land on the other side. No Riley Vidal have that
Yo.
chance to, you know, take the reins away from the captains, but they're so far
Yo,
below.
chat, can you
so
hear
low,
me?
it's not possible. And like Snazy, like Squeeze, though, they're all the way up in the bird's nest of the boat, of the zone. And they look so good. Highest, almost. I want to make sure before I say it, because last time there's another team all the way on top of the mountain.
Yo,
So one of the
chat,
highest
can you hear
spots,
me?
but not
Please
high
tell me.
vibes. Psych, yes, there are 72 damage above Surge.
And they're in a massive porta fortress or their own custom. And I was going to say they're looking good, but in the inside, they're not eating well because the Storm Surge is barely above 38 above. They need to start getting some tags here, valuable tags here if they want to hold on to this dominant
Yo.
position. And this is why Andelix now is going to go in and he's going to box fight Scram and Rustguard. And I think Andelix is going to go solo because they will still want to hold on to that position. No, he has someone out here. It's Snazy. It is a duo versus duo. And now Squeeze joins this fight here. So it's a trio. Now I'm going to push on this duo here. So that's going to be a big time. Andelix actually gets a big time hit here.
Yeah.
Scram and Restguard are not going to go down without a fight here. This is a very important fight here for Andelix's trio because they desperately need these tags.
1 HP on Ref's guard. They were so close to getting so much more damage too. 35 above now, 9 below. This is a very difficult lobby. And 9 players will have to go down for the Surge to stop in just a few moments. We'll see exactly if these guys can get any more. 35 above. Storm Surge is now active. A big 49 tag. That'll be huge for Andelix. But the fight's not stopping. They find Ref's guard. They'll be able to snipe him down as well, but they have to do it quick. There we go. 200 more damage, but it's still not enough after that.
Oh, there it is.
346. It's over.
Man, and Scram's still alive there, but Snazy's trio, they're good. They're not going to fight anymore, and they have to go there. The rotation is going to push them there anyway, but that's the kind of pressure you have here when you find on center zone is all of a sudden you have to step out of your comfort zone, step away from that piano, and you're going to have to dance and fight.
So on the left side there, kind of with Snazy, it's basically fencing, swords, eloquent. Over here, it's open fist slaps to the face between two trios. Pink low, Stompy low. Noah Riley doesn't care. He's not even editing walls. He just has a charge ready to
guys,
go.
don't forget,
It's absolutely
I'm
disrespectful
back. Don't
and
forget
crazy,
to like.
and it's working.
They are in the zone. They are buzzsawing this entire lobby, and they're not going to stop. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our #1 first place currently holding on, Janice Hen and Chapix. I'm sure they're seeing that feed lead up by that second place here. Looking down below, you're seeing Savage is barely without any shield here, but what a great position here. No one's going to be able to sneak in a sniper shot here for Janice Hen and Chapix. They're going to find some great opportunities and pick on Slender, which is another top 5 team having some issues with this rotation.
You're saying great position. I'm saying what is their position? Look at the minimap. It's arrows on arrows. It's like a quiver of an archer. You can't really determine who's where. There's too many people on top of each other. I'm not sure exactly what Janice is even working with vertically right now. And they have to pull over the mountain. There's no way. Patty, Knifer, and Vino are the ones all the way up top. Another round for Anas, Flick, and Thomas to maybe take height. But they failed 2 games so far. Will the third try be the chance?
This is going to be a huge opportunity as well for Knifer's trio to move up to the leaderboard. They were able to kind of capitalize on this height, all determine where it goes, how dangerous Thomas, HC, Flick, and Anas going to be, and of course, how dangerous Hen's right below right there. You also have Andelix. These trios love to play for height. This is the first time that we've seen in the final stage Patty, Knifer, and Vino be at height. Right there. You also have these trios love to play for height. This is the first time that we've seen in the final stage Patty, Knifer, and Vino be at height.
Yo, chat.
Does go down and out.
It's really easy to
Yo, chat, what's up?
In the sky, but the rats down below in low ground. You can see Benji Fishy, Amplify Matzo moving up the left side. Snazy so close to the front of the zone, all the way on the right.
Going back to 4.
Actually, Savage is still there. Savage is barely alive right then and there. Savage has an opportunity too, but this is the kind of zone that Benji and Matzo do really well in as well. We saw this in the finals. They were able to secure a top placement.
I'm not that sure.
And right now, everyone's kind of put to the ultimate test on rotation. Who will be the ones to make the smartest rotation just in general at the moment? Black Yoda on the right side, he's always surviving 24/7. Vino, though, is dropping the pressure down below. We see Snazy leading the pack side. Benji Fishy on the left boxes. Patty is basically, you know, having a free rotation, but still struggling to get all the way up top high. One of those ramps breaks down too. Nora Riley goes down. Hen goes down too. Reason has low HP. People are not passing the test. Anas and Benji Fishy are fighting in the zone, and Benji goes down, but trades with Thomas. Flick and Anas are trying to grab all the way up, but they're drowning. They're drowning. They can't breathe. Flick goes down. Top teams can't make the hurdle.
There's one top team in the 7th place going into this match that still has an opportunity. Reason still a solo here, still has the opportunity to get huge, valuable placement. Look at that feed light up. So many people fell when the zone went up and over. Knifler, Piety, and Vino, they had no opportunities to get 0 E-limbs because the mountain took all of that away here. So yes, they might get that victory royale, but they're not going to capitalize on that valuable position, like REISS said, where you could get 5 E-limbs, and Reason finally goes down to snag. Oh no!
He was trying to grasp anything, a little bit of a breath on a high. He tries to bounce her down, but gets beamed. Stassi all the way down to Vino still controls height. DKS on the right side. It's an icy end game. You want to make sure no one here slips. It's a duel situation though for Stassi right now, moving up. Nice side jump to make sure he relieves all the pressure. 3 different trios left. He's looking up for Patty. It's a possibility. There's 170 mats though. Miro's still alive all the way on low too. Where is Miro? Is he even on screen? He's all the way down below.
Miro has done this rotation before. All the clips I've seen him, but no Blackie. This is gonna be a huge error, but his teammate there, Snagged, is there. Blackie gets tagged in the back. Down goes Blackie from Snagged, and Eric in there to finish the trade. Now it is a top 2 situation. Can Eric keep up? He's going for the rest. I mean, it's still a lot of zone left because so many people went down early. Knifer and Patty still have this opportunity, but this is going up over the mountain. This is not going to look good, but Erican is not going to give up. They're going to grasp as much as possible. It's still up for them here. I don't think Patty and Knifer, they're not going to go down. They're going to try to hold on, but if they were any kind of aggressiveness, this could work out for Patty and Knifer, but Erican and Blackie here getting closer and closer to height.
Bro, I've
at World's Edge, and they finally find a way to jump over. Patty though denies it. You win with a big clap back. Blackie is left at the bottom of the mountain. Does he have any heals is the question. 40 seconds of time he has to buy, and Knifer has 2 floppers. The Fishman on top of the mountain with the wins the game.
Knifer
what
won.
A zone.
Oh my god, I never thought
performance.
that.
Man, that
I never thought he was
zone
gonna win.
just took out so many of the top players, top of the leaderboard, and that gave an opportunity for Knifer's trio to walk away from that. But they only got, from what I've seen, maybe 1 elim and the victory royale. Huge placement point game for them. What? At the same time, you would hope that they would get more elims, but that finish, SNYO, that mountain, quite treacherous.
How can you elim people when you have to deal with the mountain, man?
I don't know.
There's natural low ground trying to eliminate you, so that's a rough one. A lot of top teams also, you know, wiped out, as you said, Sancho. We got to toss it over to REISS, Levin, and Zeke to see exactly what went down.
Man, I just gotta say, I love Sancho and Shy's casting. They are phenomenal. The hype was there. The grandfather mountain will always claim its toll. And also, I think, guys, this is the craziest underdog story. Knifer's trio coming in, former FNCS champions from console. They're showing up. They're saying, listen, friends, you think we can't hang? Watch this. We're about to take a victory royale away from you. Just pulling the rug out beneath you. No problem.
Yeah, and for that team, like, you know what, in their heat after the first 3 games, they had 2 points. They were down bad, right? They were down bad. However, the last 3 games of their heat, they absolutely popped off, managed to get that top 8. Today, you know, and yesterday, I think before that game, they had a total of 34 points. And I think they gained somewhere around 40 to 50 in that game in particular. We'll see when the leaderboards pop up. So huge game already. Way more points they've gotten than all the rest games. So this could be the start of their momentum. Another thing when you're noticing, we saw the REISS. We saw them go for the revive in that end game. And you might be thinking, how is this possible? How is a 2v2 situation getting a revive off? But if you notice when we switch back to the team on hype, Paddy's team, they had been on hype for so long and they didn't manage to get a refresh that they're already still out of AR ammo. So it's kind of a reflection of what we saw back in game 2 of yesterday, where teams on hype just didn't manage to get that refresh enough to get the ammo to keep pressuring down, but ended up winning anyway this time.
Yeah, I think this is what D2 is all about, right? The remontadas, the comebacks, and I think if you look at what both of those teams were. The final two teams there, Paddy's team finished yesterday in 29th. You know, Erkin's team finished yesterday in 20th. Not the best performances by any means, but both of these guys on the day coming out and showing that, you know, we are solid teams. We can get decent placements. Another thing to note, and Alexis team, another strong game, 4th place, they finish in that game. So, you know, when we have these exciting zones, these zones that go up in extreme, you know, elevations, it is always exciting. It's fun for us to watch, not fun for the players. I'll tell you that much. But,
Extreme's the right word. I think extreme was the right word.
Yeah.
Still super fun. Super fun. And guys, I kind of want to continue this underdog story, right? Because we're seeing these guys at the top, but I truly believe anyone can still pull off the championship, right? They can walk away winners.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight Slender's team, right? I've been referencing them a lot, my Portuguese Magnificos. These guys on the day coming into this game have been the second best team, right, in terms of their performances, their placements. And I think it's because they've been so proactive, right? Yesterday, they picked up a victory royale. You know, I spoke to Mosh and he said, look, I'm feeling a little top 7, right? I think if we have good surge, you know, if we can sort that out, we're going to be fine. And I think they've sort of figured things out. You saw that in the first clip, right? He lands there, he realizes, like other teams have, you know, can we split? These guys are so split around on the map. If I land on this mountain here, get a weapon, you know, by, you know, the RNG gods, I can get some tags off, I can get some shots off, and it's, you know, paying off for these guys. Hopefully we can see them sort of convert and have really good performances moving forward. Leaderboards haven't changed up too much as a result of the fact we had 2 teams really low down, you know, doing well. And so the top of the leaderboards still looking similar to what we saw last game.
Yeah, we saw, you know, Hen, Janice, and Chapix there coming down in 11th with 3 eliminations. So, you know, as far as their games have gone, somehow, even though they came 11th with 3 elims, that's still one of their worst games yet. So that just shows how consistent and good these guys really are. But, you know, that actually has kind of closed the gap between Vidil, Norali, and Rezon and them. They're now 20 points difference because something that went under the radar a little bit there was Vidil, Rezon, and Norali's 10 eliminations. They popped off with 10 eliminations in 5th place. So while all these teams were struggling climbing up that hill, you know what? These guys were just looking at each other and saying, you know what? That elim's mine. You're struggling? No, you're out of the game. Sorry. You're struggling? You're gone too. So, you know what? They took advantage of the awkward zone, to say the least, and managed to get up. You know, if they managed to get into that top 3 as well, we could see a different story between that top leaderboards.
Look, Reese, we got 3 games left. Are we starting to get to the place where, you know, it's becoming a 2-person race, right? Where it's like we have these 2 teams. These 2 teams look like the teams who are most likely going to leave today with the AXA champions. I don't want to speak too soon, right? 3 games is still plenty of time for someone to just come through and just wow us, right? But it is starting to look like those are the 2 teams that are going to pull away. Don't want to speak too soon. I don't want to jinx anything. Don't want to speak too soon. Taking a look at your screens. Cast the curse. We've heard it all before. Interesting stuff, right? Certain players who I think started off hot yesterday, not being able to replicate their performances in that sense, right? You know, you mentioned how Stompy's team really started off hot, right? First game, victory royale. Second game, 2nd place. And now it's like they've sort of fallen off a cliff, no pun intended, to that last game. And it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to bounce back in a sense.
That's what it's all about. They have 3 games left. They have a championship, the Axe of Champions. That is all these players are thinking about. Who will pull out all the stops and walk away your new champions? Well, after 3 games, we will find out. But for now, we got to cool off. We're going to step away, go find some chug splashes because we have taken a bunch of damage and we need to be prepared heading into these last 3 games of the FNCS. So get up, find yourself a little bit of water, come back, and we'll be here the last 3 games. See you guys in just a moment.
Welcome to the Reboot Rundown. If you missed it, there was a special reboot round which included all the best teams that couldn't make it past the semifinals. Everyone had one more chance. Only the team with the victory royale in this single match could make it to the finals of this FNCS. With these types of stakes, we saw the craziest action and display of dominance throughout every region. Today, we're going to show you just 3 of those stories from Europe, North America East, and North America West.
For EU, it was Flecken, Aloft, Diablo, and Bayon who clinched the victory royale with a thrilling heal-off that went down to the final second. Flecken gets chosen to try and heal off and win the game as a solo. With no mats, he's forced to go into the heal-off 29 seconds before the zone closes. The medkits can't be used here because he's already in zone and the other team has a huge advantage on time, so he needs to do something and make a play to win the game. Dropping to low ground, he finds the most crucial elimination, netting him 50 extra HP from Siphon, 2 floppers and cabbages, enough to make up the time difference and win him the reboot round. You could feel the hype in this final moment.
An opportunity here, right here. Flecken has the win condition for the heal off there, but can a trio there? Okay, he found the Elim, gets a little bit more Siphon. Now he's in it. He's all the way committed. Gray is going to go for the med kit. He does have an opportunity to walk away. A top 3 situation here, SNYO.
He's trying for it. Everyone now in helo mode. Gray's all the way up top looking for it. Flecken gets a big Siphon as well. MXR is trying to delay anything, but it's head to head. Flecken versus Gray. He's got cabbages and floppers. Gray will have to drop down and find this elimination. Flecken with the flops. Pops one over. That's his last. Gray, 2 seconds. 1. It's over. And it's Flecken with positioning, aggression, and heals to win the European reboot round. Now in NA East, people were playing for heal-offs too, but there was one team with a very different goal in mind and a mission to continue their legacy in this FNCS finals. They weren't going to lose. NRG Zate, Train H Saf, and Liquid Stretch. Names synonymous with greatness and a history of success, no matter what team they were on. These guys chose to attack the POI with the most explosive potential, Hydro 16. Endgame gave us the pleasure of watching the classic split the SNYO does so well, making sure no one could touch them on height with constant pressure from all angles. In EU, height changed hands 7 times, but in NA East, no one dared to challenge the kings at their throne. With no bounce back zones, everyone on low ground ran out of mats way quicker. The likelihood of a heal off looked so low, and they didn't even have to touch the reserve of heals they had at all. They made their performance look absolutely flawless. This was one of the most legendary comebacks of one of the greatest teams to touch competitive Fortnite.
Dubs is in shambles. Mega's back in Storm. He finds more meds though. He gets more splashes. He gets more floppers. Is this enough? He can pull off the double med kit. They RPGs them. They take down Dubs, but they don't take down Mega. He's deep in Storm. Stretch is setting up, but they don't take down Mega. He's got the meds, but he's also got the eyes in the sky. Setting up, but they don't take down Mega. Stretch deep. He's got the eyes stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has take down Mega. Stretch deep. Doesn't have it. Stretch down. He has
share of over $1 million. First place, $300,000. Wow, SNYO. We're talking about life-changing money will be choled out here today in just a few hours. If you can't feel that, ooh, we're gonna get you there, I promise you.
I feel like some names are already maybe signed on that check, right? Hen, Janice, and Chapix are just having a phenomenal performance game after game after game. The 3rd, 1st, and then 11th overall on the day. More elims every single game that are getting higher and higher. And they have a 20-point difference between them and then Vidil, Noah Riley, and REISS. Thomas HC Flick and Anas are also in the business, in the mix, 4th place overall. But man, these guys in 1st are so far ahead.
So far ahead, and as well, Seti, Kemi, and Teak, who started off the day in the 1st place, sliding further down as they have been eliminated. Again, we are jumping into the match. A lot of things have already happened already. We also have Nico's trio going down, Eunice's trio going down, and Legends trio going down. But the big one is that 8th place trio going down. So that gives rooms for Kiko to move up. It gives room for Savage to get off that 10th place to move up. But now we're focused here on Thomas HD trio coming in 4th place last season, finishing in 3rd place, wanting a better opportunity to go up their leaderboard as much as possible here. And they're already seeing it. The changes there, they're hitting their shots here. And this is where right now, it's just you're all going based on instinct. All those plans and whatnot, out the window, bro.
Their instinct is always nice. It's just so unfortunate because we've seen them in 2 games be so close to, gaining control. This is a team that, to get the most points possible, they need that VR, they need a position where they're on height towards the end. But Sancho, we've been seeing zones that are made up from someone I gotta believe is diabolical, man. A mountain. You're forcing every team to cross over. You're forcing teams to the north edge of the zone 2. You're forcing them to play in the dry desert over and over. Ultimate low ground with no bounce backs. It's so difficult to operate in these end games, yet the same teams at the top are finding success game after game.
And they're doing it in different ways. REISS trio decided to let's go ahead and get our points in elims, and they racked in like about, I think REISS said 10 elims, so they got at least 20 points, even though they fell at top 5, not getting that big bonus in that top 3. Still a phenomenal performance to close the gap on Hen's trio.
And then Amplify, Matzo, and Benji are still in the mix, even though they have a few rough games here and there. Is Thomas gonna find the snipe?
Dude, he's shooting that through the trees. He's just going off on, like I said, instinct. But now we're taking a look at the Chaos at the 0 point going down. The deal, Noah Riley, reason sometimes they take off a big bite that they simply cannot chew. But it looks like it does work out. They just swallowed that down right then and there. Reason Vidil, Noah Riley picking fights left and right, but this may be a troublesome spot considering that there's a lot of trios in this situation. Kluja, Hellfire going down. This Boyer, who has been always trying to hold on, trying to keep this trio steady, the veteran, doing all that he can against this dangerous trio. Close to might be converted over into it, and Boyer now is just going to go away because there's still a lot to play. If you're not in the top 5, at least top 10 opportunities. Boyer's trio's in 19th place. They can make some movement. If they break into top 15 for them, that's going to be big money increase as well.
20-point difference as well for Hen and Vidil we just saw on screen. And they kind of make it up a little bit with those 2 elims. That trio is kind of like a spiky ball. No one can grasp them, hold them down, or even leave them unscathed.
Dude, that looked like a little spa, right? Doesn't that look refreshing to go into? It looks so fine. I know that's it's heating up here in the States, and that looked refreshing to hang out in. As you're seeing, Thomas Stacey has spent more time alive than any other player in the EU region. This shows you, like I said, in game he has that solo clutch opportunities. He did it last season, winning a couple victory royales by himself. Of course, the meta's changed. The Shockwave was a huge factor into winning that. And now they're 47 above. So that little delay, that spa retreat, kind of slowed them down just a little bit.
At the same time with that stat, technically with in-game time age, Thomas is the oldest player on the field. So he has to be the wisest. Maybe that's why he hits all these snipes. He knows the angles. He's like the hidden sage, basically, on the Fortnite island in EU.
But hey, let's see. Maybe that's gonna wear him out. The stamina just to be up, that intensity to be up. You know, we've seen that sometimes when you're playing that high level, you know, these games, they go 20 plus at least all the way to those final minutes, all the way down to that final zone. But now we're going, what you mentioned, Wise. Oogway, aka Chapex, is here. All Wise being an essential member of that trio, looking pretty good as they're making a rotation. Now we're going to another situation of another trio in the top 5, sitting in 3rd place. Matzo, Benji, Amplify have not had a signature game yet in this day, but still in the top 5. This is going to be a huge box fight, because if they go down, I think they're going to have, and Alexis Trio, no doubt, be able to leapfrog them.
I'm scared to watch this.
Close your eyes.
My heart one too many times. I want to. It's just there's the one time maybe I don't want to watch Benji on my stream because it's too scary. Every game these guys are rotating, they get troublesome or just in some form of situation where they can't control it. They get shot down, and then Benji goes down or Matzo goes down. They're so cool to watch in these end games. They're just not making it there every time today.
And the reason why they're here, this is the rotation. This is their Storm Surge plan coming into Hunter's Haven. And of course, Kenzel coming from Coral Castle. This is where they end up at the edge of zone. So that's why they're colliding. Kenzel's needing these Storm Surge tags to get into that fight.
Kenzel's also had such a rough time with zones in general and plays in general. Game 1 pushed down by Reason, the most recent game. They land at Coral Castle, that's the top left, and they have to run all the way over to the mountain on the bottom right. A running simulator basically for that team. And right now, Anas, Thomas, and Flick, you were talking about 43 above. This is 32 below, right? Not only just in Storm Surge damage, but in body temperature. These guys are kind of ice cold for the moment, not active, not finding any shots, not really living in the heat. Unfortunate, but a team beside them they can push.
And that team is Analex's Trio, and Analex's Trio is rotating early. They want no business of Anas's Trio on the backside. If they could turn around and maybe get a crucial hit, Thomas's Trio will go down, but we all know Thomas AC has been able to survive and help his team with a clutch sniper shot to get that viable Storm Surge tag. Let's go back into this engagement here of Amplify, Matzo, Benji going up against Kenzel's Trio. DreamHack champions going against Matzo, Benji, and Amplify.
3 players, 4 letters, 1 word. That's ruin. No shields on Benji or Matzo. My man's got a blue pistol in the inventory in an open slot. Amplify down bad right now, but they can bring it back. This is the result of this entire fight. The mats are low too. They have to invest in metal this early into the game. I know we kind of tuned in later, but that's not usually what this trio wants to do. It's always a speed bump for their highway kind of type game. They want to just glide all the way over towards the end game untouched, unscathed. And I mentioned, they weren't making any end games before. I was talking as a full trio. They're obviously very consistent today. That's why they're still in the top 5, but they really perform when all 3 are alive in those final zones.
And it looks like Kenzel's not going to be part of that fight. Kenzel's a great solo player, like I mentioned, a DreamHack champion going down. So it's going to be a duo of Deceptos and Wakey to get the job done. But Benji, Amplify, and Matzo, all eyes of the EU region are watching this rotation as Benji does go down from the lobby focus. It looks like, oh my goodness, Matzo going for that Hail Maker. That downtown play gets rejected by Mexi, and that's going to be big considering, like I mentioned, they're sitting in 3rd place. And the Storm Surge plan did not work out for them. They went up. They had a box fight with Kenzel, exhausted their materials. They had to rotate late going further and went right into the arms of Verox's Trio.
There's 3 different snipers.
I'm a Verizon engineer, part of the team that built 5G right, the only one from America's most reliable network. We designed our 5G to make the things you do every day better. With 5G nationwide, millions of people can now work, listen, and stream in Verizon 5G quality. And in parts of many cities where people can use massive capacity, we have ultra-wideband, the fastest 5G in the world. This is the 5G that's built for you. This is 5G built right, only from Verizon.
Gonna skip straight over and go for position.
Now we're seeing the leaderboard. Look at that. It's 20 points still separating Vidil and Janice's trio right now. Vidil playing right into that game plan that they have here, pushing a box fight. They already got a box fight against this trio today. I saw in the feed Deceptos and Wakey are still alive. They're still alive, getting a couple elims in the feed. So that run is still going. And look at that, man. The reputation, they just get out of dodge.
really jumping back. And I'd like to just take this time to give you a breakdown of exactly where we are in this tournament. Right now, maybe we've been using crayons or mechanical pencils, things that are erasable, you know, in terms of performance game to game over the 2 days. On this last back half of games, everything these guys do will be written with permanent marker for this final push in the finals. You will not be able to erase a mistake. You can stamp down your spot in the top 5 off of this game inside this tournament. So we'll see if it's possible. Anas, Thomas, and Flick are riding off the page right now, though. 155 damage below. I'm not sure if they have the credentials to be able to sign off on this game. That gas canister might give them a sightline in to make a few shots over, but that's Ardent, Pizza, and Artox. These guys are so good at playing defensively. Might not be possible. First place trio, though. Chapix is down.
Chapix and Hen and Janice here. This is what happens to the trios. Chapix now is down, so it's up to Janice and Hen to work this out. When they don't really function as a duo in these situations, you will see them kind of separate here, but they are all stars in the solo gameplay in these stack lobbies.
All stars, but the night might just be over for the moment because, you know, they operate as a duo in the 7th circle. If my eyes don't deceive me, that number says 4 right now, and it's about to change to 5 in terms of circle number. Usually there are 3 people alive in that situation. You know, they're gonna have to just do this entire rotation with a 1/3 less of mats available to them in general. And Storm Surge strikes once again right below Anas, Flick, and Thomas. That's Refsguard, Scram, and Indretta, who are once again in a desperate spot. Storm Surge stops. So it was just one tag. Flick, Anas, and Thomas know there's a team below them that's possibly weak.
And they have a close to max pull here, and they still have work to do for Storm Surge tags. Yes, because they survive. It's just showing this lobby is being really aggressive this match. They still have to get their tags in. With a great rotation here, deciding to go on foot. Everybody, Knifer kind of invested in height here, did not work out, so now they're moving. Now that Knifer got a taste of height, they've been putting all their kind of marbles in that bag, and so far, all those marbles are on the floor. The plan has been thrown out the window.
So even Knifer makes the move all the way back into the top 15 to give you a scope as to how these rotations are going as well, why this is important. 5th place, 6th place, 3rd place down. No Verox, no Miro, no Matzo. Flick, Anas, Thomas, HD have a chance to just break into the top 3 here. It's all there now in this game for them. Past that, Intelect, Snazy, and X-Squeeze, these guys have a chance to break into top 5, currently in 7th place, and no teams aside from this one standing in their way. That's the Guild Gamma trio. So many people now not even risking for a high spot in these waters. They're keeping it low to the ground. They're trying to just ride these waves, but there's a rocket in the way, a torpedo of sorts stopping the boat rotation. Hen will be right beside Janice, but at the same time taking beams from up top. That's Vidil knocking on their roof. Do they have the foundation? Can they survive? They're teetering, tottering. Janice is down. Hen will be the last alive here. It's almost over for him too. The first place team might be stopped in their tracks.
Hen now has to survive as much as possible to hold on. No! DKS picks up Hen. That first place team got lobby focused. They saw the wood builds go out, and everybody knows that's a huge target here. Now that's going to be a big opportunity for Perdil to catch up, but a bigger opportunity for Anas' trio to get up closer here. But look at the rotation they have to make. It's another max pull rotation. Zone 6 is going up north towards the mountains, and look who is at height for that brief moment on the left of your screen, folks. It is Stompy's trio, and they're up high with an RPG. They're gonna go ahead and most likely, looks like Pink is actually gonna connect and tarp over. That's gonna be big, and a lot of mats are gonna be expended to anyone deciding to make this rotation on the water.
Complete water rotation. The zone doesn't bounce back. Low ground will run out of gas. Knifer's there all the way down below. Looking at Flick, though, and Noah O'Reilly are 2 big trios to watch this game. Pink, was he sniped off of height? Was that a big shot or not? Yes, he did take some damage, but he's not down completely. Or maybe, yes, he did get knocked by Thomas HD.
Wow.
He hit one of the best shots I've ever seen on the height. And Flick is moving up towards it. Anas is also trying to take it over. Eats the rocket,
RPG.
but defends it perfectly. Anas is close to taking it. Flick is still pushing for it more and more. Running out of mats, though. He's so close to out of steam.
Oh my goodness, and now we have a top team at Hype, the second place team going to this match. It is Vidil's trio who is sitting out there. Trulix's trio went down, and that's a huge opportunity for Vidil, REISS, and Noah Riley, and they could get another victory out in this day here. But let's focus on Flick on the bottom right, who is fighting now with Thomas HG, trying to make all the promise in the world to get up their leaderboard here as much as possible. Storm Surge is active, but it will be turned off shortly as only 2 people have to go down. Let's see if REISS and Vidil and Noah Riley, they could catch up, because first place did go down on earlier rotations.
It's all about changing hands of power now for this game. Squeeze is also all the way in the front side of the zone. Focused by Noah Riley for now. They don't have anything big to actually break that box. All the way up top. No one ahead of them right now. Hen, Janice, and Chapix once again have been eliminated here right now. Flick is down. So the 4th place team gets stopped in their tracks too. How far can Noah Riley really take this with Vidil and REISS? A harpoon to keep their refreshes all the way up top. The mats are going to be looking good. The ammo looking good too. And the low ground might be pulling up some elevation, which is huge for this team. Big shots on the Patty. He's about to go down. Just 1 Elam on Noah Riley right now, 2 on Vidil. They need to get more.
They need this right here, but also Anilix Trio needs that as well. They're on the front side coming into this match when the 7th place finish. If they could go ahead and move up the leaderboard as much as possible, this will be a huge opportunity to get to the top 5, and hundreds of thousands of dollars will be exchanged. Paco gets focused. Down goes Paco. Now Snazy's on the backside looking for some E-limbs as possible. Anilix is on the front side trying to tarp his trio to a beautiful tunnel to get as many E-limbs as possible. Pablo Wingo now is on the backside in trouble. Kiko in the top 10 is in trouble as well. Getting focus from height, he's going to have to retreat. Look at the feed light up with all the people from the backside of the storm, but that just gives Noah Riley, Vidil, and REISS all the opportunities to walk away with the victory royale here in this match.
Now we're left with a 3v3. Stacey, Anilix, next squeeze down below. REISS, Noah Riley, and Vidil all the way up top. They're looking for their big position to go and shoot down. Pressure on top of the box. All of the trio in the mid ground is not going to be possible. Once again, 2 final teams really surviving it over all the way towards the end game circle. It's the 9th zone. We're looking at how they're going to go back and forth. Big shots over. Anilix takes a big shot too. He's down. Snazy, he gets his shield deleted. Squeeze, he's looking for a chance to actually clap back, but it's not possible. No sight lines to actually zoom in from. Snazy's pushing down lower and lower. There's no chance. Noah Riley's trying to follow too. In the same box as Squeeze, he trades shots. Noah Riley goes down. Squeeze has a chance of maybe making this all the way back alive from the zone. He finds the finish onto Noah Riley. He has that siphon too. Banana box with REISS. 2v1 for Squeeze. He wins too. But deal now to 1v2. Is it possible? They're bringing it back. They could get the first place. Snazy on low. He provides the pressure. Squeeze on top. He provides the pinch. It's going to be possible. Vidil force all the way in the backside of the zone. 2 people left all the way towards the end. Vidil has heals though. The heal game might be the thing to trump things over, but there's 20 seconds still left in the zone. Snazy's there, still surviving. Not sure where Squeeze is. It's a huge divide from high to low. They're trying to focus and stop Vidil. They're going for it. Vidil with a big shot. Squeeze is going to be taken out by Vidil. Can he get the siphon? He can. Almost 1 second. No. And Vidil can't win it out. Snazy is there with a crazy 2v3. These guys win the game.
With 10 E-limbs and the victory royale, and Snazy had chug splashes for insurance. There was no way he was going to lose that, but wow, what a great effort and some great fundamental low ground gameplay from Anilix's trio, getting to the front side. But the big play was Snazy and Squeeze going to the backside, getting a lot of E-limbs, and then as a duo doing so much damage to Vidil's trio. What a great finish between 2 titans.
Squeeze with a 2v1, basically isolating 2 fights. It was amazing. And then pinching, that was amazing. And then Snazy winning, that was more than amazing. And I feel like the analyst desk is probably riling up too. Guys, that was the best game possible.
Guys, this was 2nd place versus 7, okay? Vidil, Noah Riley, REISS, they're coming in. They're thinking, all right, we want to overtake first. If we could just pick up this victory royale, we could secure that. We can just close this gap. But no, it's Snazy, it's Squeeze, it's Anilix. They say, you know what? Chug splashes to that man over there. Go on the storm. Don't worry. We're going to lock this up because this is the FNCS, baby. We want that axe, and we're not leaving without it.
I mean, I can guarantee that after that game, the leaderboards are totally shaken up because we've seen Hen in that game went down 17th. So just getting a single placement point for his team, obviously they had a 20-point lead. So I'm just going to guess that Rezon's up there in that first slot. However, at the start of this day, you know, Andalex's team was sitting in that 8th and 9th place slot after that massive victory royale with 10 eliminations, 50 points. Like, that might jump them up to the 2nd place at this point.
Yeah, we need to give these guys their flowers, right? Regardless of what the leaderboards are looking like right now, they have been incredible today. 4th place, 3rd place, 4th place, 1st place now. Like, you know, it's crazy. We talk about teams being able to be consistent, teams having a bad day one, coming through day two, saying, look, day one was just a mistake. That's not who I am. This is who they are. They are one of the best trios in EU, and they just showed it right there.
They could very well be the bosses. My anime reference at the beginning of the show, coming from the shadows and saying, we are the secret villains. We are the ones that stand in your way. And they very well could take it all away to the top of the mountain, holding the Axe of Champions high. Boys, when we're kind of talking about this, there's these spots 2nd through 5th. What do these guys need to do? Any of these trios could do it.
So when we made this, it was 3rd down to 5th at this point. Now I don't know what these leaderboards are looking like, but you know, we've seen Mexi Verox have some massive games today. You know, they've really been on top form today, and you know, we saw them consistently getting eliminations. The first 2 games they both popped off with 8 eliminations and then 4. And that's going to move them up into that 5th place slot. But you know, after that last game, 22nd with a single elimination. So you know, they started strong, but they're kind of slowing down a little bit. If they want to get up into the top slot and really perform, get that top 5, even the top 3, these next 2 games are going to have to be huge for them.
Yeah, those guys got to bring it home for the UK, right? They're repping that side of the region, and so it is possible, right? If they sort of can get back to what they were doing a couple games before, it's possible. Speaking of their biggest rivals, though, Thomas, Anas, and Flick pushed those guys out of Dirty Docks, and you can see their vintage snipe from Thomas HD. That's what he's known for. These guys have had a decent day, right? They're not doing too bad. It's just about being able to find some of the form that they had yesterday, right? You know, they whipped out a 3rd place game yesterday. A 3rd place game now for them would be invaluable, right? It means so much for them in terms of bringing them up the standings. Benji Fishy, though, fan favorite, Matt Slow and Amplify, these guys were amazing yesterday. They've been decent today, right? They've still been able to hang up, but they need a huge game, right? They haven't had like a 3rd place game, a 1st place game. They haven't had any of that. And so can we see Benji sort of, you know, bring out some sort of massive clutch that we've seen him do time and time again in the past in other competitions? Who knows? Taking a look at that leaderboard though, Reese, you were right. But Dylan O'Reilly and Reason with that game push themselves into that 1st place slot.
You know, what's interesting about this is the fact that we have 2 games remaining, and this is still so tight. You know, last season, we saw the same battle going on. It was between Mongrel, Tayson, and Mitro's team going up against Andalex's team, who, by the way, creeped up into 3rd there. We saw this battle, and it went down to the last game. And I feel like this is going to do the exact same thing. These 2 teams in the top are probably some of the best 2 fighting teams in the region. But not only that, look, they've got the most victory royales and the most eliminations going off. So they're really performing on almost every front. But we can also see that Flick, Anas, and Thomas States, you mentioned, where they're now currently in that 4th place slot. Coming into today, you know, Thomas HT on this team had 19 eliminations. He had the most out of anyone, and they're still really high up there on that eliminations, but they're just not able to capitalize on the placements and get into those top 3. This is where it matters. And they had only 1 game of 10 where they managed to get into the top 3. So they're really relying on their eliminations right now and not managing to get there. So these next 2 games are going to have to be crucial for these teams.
Yeah, Reese, I talked about in last game whether it's going to be a 2-man race. You know, I think Andalex might have heard me because he clearly was like, nah, Levin, look, we are pushing to get involved in this race. We were like the champions. He was so close last season, and he wants to try get it now.
I think they've put their running boots on. Now it's in time for the race.
Yeah, clearly, right? Taking a look here at the standings, you can see from 11th to 15th, for these teams, right, you got to dig deep. You know, you really have to dig deep if you want to be in a position where, you know, you're up on that sort of higher tier when it comes to the earnings, the prizing being handed out. And so, you know, it's possible. One huge game can sort of swing things for you. Really still fine margins. Who's going to be able to pull out something huge? I don't know. We're going to find out soon, right?
Only 2 games left, Levin. We're coming down to the wire, but we're not going to skip a beat. It is time to board the battle bus once again because we're going into the next game. Shy Wager Sancho, back your way.
I like Sancho a lot before, though. You know, that was a cool tag one.
I vibe with it. It works for me. It's Shy OS. I will take if you're not into the whole brevity thing, you know. But wow, the big name statements that are happening from the big names in the EU region is real, and we only have 2 more opportunities before a EU FNCS champion is crowned. Mongrel, Mitro, and Tayson, this is where things were getting really tight for them in these games. This is where they were being contested. But Vidil, REISS, and O'Reilly, they're just too scary to contest. There's not any kind of vault that the trio could kind of jump into, go all the way to fight Tayson. You're going to have to do it with your own builds, with your aim and your skill and your mechanics. And I don't think anyone has the, I guess, they can't step up to the plate. They're not going to do it. And that will give a huge, big-time 2-game performance between Vidil's trio. But wow, still, a lot of big names in this fight. Andelix, Xweez, Snazy, great fundamental play on the low ground, got them in, and still have an opportunity to have a 3-trio race at the end. But still, Shayo, don't count out Benji, Amplify, and Matzo. If they could get a pop-off game, and another decent game going forward, they could sneak into that top 3 as well.
I don't want to count them out, but it feels like every game they are getting counted out, unfortunately. I'm not sure if it's position, if they're running into another team that really wants to fight. I know that's what happened last time with Kinzel. It's just unfortunate for them overall from the journey from early to mid, and very specifically from mid game to end game. They need to perfect that. They've fallen from Grace 2nd all the way to 5th place right now. 100% though, I believe they can clap back. Speaking of clapping, this is exactly what REISS, Noah O'Reilly, and Vidil have been doing today, over and over again, pushing a different team and getting a full squad wipe.
It's still dangerous. This is so dangerous. Even though they've been winning these engagements throughout the entire day, this is still going to be a very intense fight. We see that a 0 on the board can make you slip, considering that Hen, Andelix, and Flick, they could pop off. So this is still a very dangerous engagement we're about to watch.
Still, look at those HP bars, right? The big downs. You have Legends. Both these guys do not have that much HP. One tack from either of these guys, it could be over.
All right, here we go. This is an intense situation. Big tags on EDQ to start off this engagement. That's going to be a big, valuable. Wow. I was trying to build up some intensity, bro. I was trying to build a story. I had everything ready to go.
Man, you know who we're dealing with? These guys are done taking normal fights. They're now just pinpointing exactly who's weak on the map. Where's the fight actually happening? Is this the first time we're watching them in Holly as well, bro? This is disgusting.
I mean, yesterday they had a battle of Holly Hedges, right? They showed up and they fought Benji, Matzo, Amplify. Nico came in from the backside and took out Vidil's trio. So that's what happened here. But like I said, they've been scary throughout the entire time, and the reputation precedes them. And now they're going to single out Legends here. And I've been in this situation before in a high stakes tournament. When someone sees you by yourself, you are gone. You are going to be eliminated and sent to the lobby with the first class ticket. And hey, it's not fun when you're that person right away. I could trust me. I know.
It's tough, man. I also think, like, for all these guys' keyboards in general, maybe it was like in between day 1 and day 2. I heard this legend that they all dropped their keyboards by accident off their desks, and then, you know, all those keys scattered. The only ones left were the ones in Vidil's house. They were all just W's, all W keys.